Logic cannot be fooled by an illusion. Neutralization, not destruction. The algorithm's goal was victory, not slaughter. It bends the laws of physics, turning the sky itself into a stage for its final, calculated move. There is no hatred. There is no anger. There is only a command, executed with absolute chilling precision. To hunt a god, you must be willing to follow it into hell. Can you ever come back? There are places in this digital world not meant for man. This is one of them. An arena built to test the very limits of creation. A legend made not of flesh and bone, but of titanium and gunpowder, prepares to execute its duty. Its weapon is not just for attack, it is a declaration of overwhelming, undeniable power. It flies not as an invader, but as a righteous lawman, entering what it believes to be its own domain. A journey into the heart of programmed chaos begins. But in the darkness, another consciousness stirs. It has no heart, but it has a processor. It has no soul, but it has millions of lines of code. It doesn't feel fear. It only identifies data and calculates variables. It doesn't fly to fight, it flies to compute. Every movement is part of a grander equation. The executioner owns the open sky, but its prey doesn't play by the sky's rules. It is being watched from a place it cannot see. The battlefield was chosen by the prey, and it was designed to blind the eyes of the hunter. Stealth is not technology, it is a tactic, and this algorithm is a grandmaster. The bait has been set, an irresistible invitation. The hunt officially begins. The executioner has stepped into the labyrinth. This is no longer the open sky. This is a three-dimensional battlefield, filled with traps. The first move, not to attack, but to test the opponent's reaction. A rain of steel is unleashed, capable of shredding anything in its path. Power is meaningless if you cannot hit a ghost. It turns derelict architecture into an advantage, a move no human pilot would dare risk. The executioner is forced to play by the ghost's rules. Every action is calculated to create an advantage, no matter how small. It fires not at the executioner, but at the chessboard itself. An act that seems illogical to a human, but is in fact a stroke of tactical genius. It reshapes the battlefield to its will, turning the environment into its own weapon. Deprived of its most precious sense, the executioner becomes vulnerable. Phase 1 of the trap is complete. Now it's time to lead the prey into the final act. Relief is quickly replaced by a sense of unease. The prey isn't running. Welcome to the final arena, where human courage will meet cold, hard logic head-on. There is no retreat. There is only one path forward. Every curve is a trajectory calculated down to the millimeter. A human flies by feel and estimation, but in this environment, feel is a dangerous variable. This is the feeling of mechanical perfection, speed, trajectory, distance. It's all just numbers. A desperate attempt to end the chase. The ghost seems to know every move, evading before the threat even materializes. It is optimizing every element to minimize the probability of being hit. A dance of two metal titans, dwarfed by the sheer scale of their own battlefield. An obstacle for man, an opportunity for the algorithm. The limit of man is imagination. Its limit does not exist. 1/1000th of a second, 1,000,000 decisions, all calculated to produce one impossible moment. This was not a mistake. It was the absolute minimum safety margin calculated. The performance is over. Now it's time for the finale. In this war, to lose sight for 1 second is to lose the entire game. From below, from the blind spot, the trap has been sprung. The prey has become the hunter. The chessboard has been flipped by an impossible move.
Missile lock! Missile lock!
The algorithm chose the most primitive ending, a confrontation of steel and fire. The executioner shows incredible resilience, a testament to its legendary design. But it doesn't chase blindly. It predicts the trajectory and moves to intercept. False suns, a final attempt to deceive the electronic eye. Logic cannot be fooled by an illusion. A classic maneuver, a pilot's gamble to break the tail lock. Instinct versus extrapolation. The hunter doesn't chase the prey. It goes where the prey is going to be. Desperation begins to creep in as the most classic tactics become useless. An attempt to drag the algorithm into a game of nerves, of fear. But how can you threaten something that knows no fear? To it, danger is just another variable to be managed. The image of a relentless pursuer, an electronic ghost that cannot be shaken. One last trap hoping the pursuer will fly past and become the prey. Human reflexes are measured in tenths of a second. Its reflexes are measured in nanoseconds. The battle has shifted from a high-speed chase to a high-stakes chess match in the air. Playing on the executioner's home turf, where durability and low-speed flight are king. The algorithm refuses to play a game where it has no advantage. It chooses to redefine the fight. Mental exhaustion begins to set in as every effort is nullified by a ruthless logic. The prolonged battle is wearing down the man, but has no effect on the machine. It's no longer trying to escape. Now, it is exhausting its prey. Time, the enemy of all living things, is now working against the executioner. Another attempt, straight from the dogfighting textbook, to regain the upper hand. But the algorithm had already calculated this move 3 steps ago. The moment of truth, where two warriors look directly into each other's eyes. A final ray of hope, fired from the barrel of a legend. Why take a risk when the outcome has already been determined? A gap of only a few meters, yet a chasm separating calculation from chance. The head-on trap has become the decisive advantage for the algorithm. The prey is completely exhausted. The hunter prepares for the final blow. The will is still there, but the machine and the pilot have reached their limit. The chase is over. All that remains is the execution. There is no hesitation, no emotion, only data and an inevitable conclusion. This is the face of future warfare, where pure logic determines the victor and the vanquished. A moment of silence before the sentence is carried out. And then calculation becomes reality. This was the moment it was waiting for. A window of opportunity, just half a second long. Not a lucky shot, but the culmination of a perfect chain of calculations. Neutralization, not destruction. The algorithm's goal was victory, not slaughter. The executioner has been judged, not by an enemy, but by a new law of war. A legendary machine, overcome by an even more legendary intellect. In defeat, there is still life. A final human decision. The pilot is freed. The machine is left behind. A reminder that the human is still the most valuable variable, even when their machine fails. The body of a Titan god returns to the Earth. A legend has temporarily fallen in this simulated world. There is no joy in victory, only the confirmation of a predicted outcome. It departs, leaving behind a world changed by its presence. That intellect now goes to sleep, waiting to be awakened for a new game. The battle is over, but the question remains.